Hello everybody and welcome to another Joey's Reviews. So, this is a new series I'm trying to call the Clearance Cache, where I'm looking at toys that are in clearance that might be interesting if you're just wanting to see what it's about first before or maybe even after you pick it up. So what we have today is this Race and Blast Megatron D-16 and Decepticon Whirlwing. Now I found this at Target. I believe it might be a Target exclusive. So this is what it comes with out when you open the box. Plus, don't forget to always check the back. This was here. And what's in these tissue papers are armor pieces for Whirlwing. You don't really see much of indications on the box where that's a thing except for this one picture here, because if you try to compare that with Whirlwing himself, there's a slight difference in how they end up looking. Alright, let's get that box out the way. And let's start with Whirlwing first, because he's going to be the easier one. Now, this whole set is a retool from a 2015, I want to say, Robots in Disguise Decepticon Overload, which was a whole subline about having minicons, these smaller guys, being deployed by these mechanisms in every of the bigger guys. There was Overload, which was his minicons were spheres, Fracture, which was like a purple motorcycle, and his minicons were more missile looking, and then Drift, which his minicons were more disc looking. Anyway, enough about that. Let's look at Whirlwing. Let's look at Whirlwing. Little focus. So as you can see, he's this little dragon here. Got pretty cool detail on the wings as well. His tail, very reminiscent of a Bakugan, but unfortunately not as intuitive, because Bakugans, they're on magnets. Prep by doing the wings and the tail, then you just move all of this together and it all gears together. And then to finish it off, if you see, yeah, there's those two pegs on each side. They go to holes on each wing. There. And just press all that together. And there you go. You have Whirlwing in his minicon bulk mode. Then to get it out, you just make sure both sides are open first. And then you just open this whole thing up. Get the wings out. And then turn his tail, and there you go. Now let's put the armor on him. So first part, you have this horned piece. There's grooves on there and there. There's grooves there that will fit in, so this just goes on the top. There we go. Now there's going to be two of these more blaster looking. Sorry, this is the tail part. So this just clips on to the back there. Just give it a squeeze. This is what I'm talking about. These blaster looking ones. These go over the wing, like the ball part of the wing. So you want to make sure this goes over those two, and then it'll just slot in there. Just like that. Same on the other side. You want to make sure it clips over that blue part there, and then just push it in. Now do these parts first, because there's two parts that connect here. There's the wing part here, and then there's a gun part. So you want to take these parts first. As you can see, there's like a flat end and a sharp end. You want the flat end inside. So these pegs here will fit into the ridges on the wings. So you just line that up. Just push that in, and they'll stay in there. Same on the other side. You want the flat end inside. Just line that up with the ridges of the wings. Press, and you're good to go. Now lastly, for the blasters on the wing, it's going to peg into this and that curve over there. So you want to find the gun, make sure this part lines up with the wing. So this goes on the other side. Line that up, press it, and it does go at an angle like that. Same on the other side. Find that angled piece, and that will just plug in. And there you have Decepticon Whirlwing armored up. Looks pretty good. And he does still turn into his sphere mode with everything attached. Just like that. Everything fits in just nicely. All right. Now let's take a look at Megatron here. So this is how he comes out of the box. So first you want to push this deployer all the way to the back here. It'll peg in and just straighten out his legs. And there you go. So as you can see, there's a new head here that's specifically to him, new chest and torso piece, and also new legs, as well as a new fusion cannon. Now it is on the wrong side because Megatron usually has his cannon on this arm instead, because of how Overload was designed in the original RID 2015. And yeah, there would be where there was a sticker app that you scanned back then. Doesn't look bad at all. And yeah, you can see there's enough of a gap there that you can actually put the Minicon in there and it'll actually store. All right, and how to transform this guy. So first you want to turn his cannon like that, push his head down into his chest, then take this entire torso piece. I usually try to push it from the back. There we go. So just to reiterate, it's these tabs here. There, you can just put your thumb there, push. There we go, all that goes forward. Push that forward for now. You want to open his legs again, get that deployer gimmick out. And you see there's two tabs there. The bottom of this torso will actually hook into that. It's not a secure connection, but it's a connection. So then you want the arms now. You can turn this away from this white, well, lighter gray. And there's 2 points. That tab goes to that slot there. And then this tab goes to this slot on the arm. So line that two up, and that's easy. It's not as easy on the other hand because there's the tabs connection, and then there's this gray tab that needs to go into that hole. There's not really enough clearance, so you kind of have to just like brute force it a little bit, which I really don't enjoy. And that's the one thing I don't quite like about this design, that is that you do have to do a slight bit of brute forcing. There we go. So it'll line up there, and there's enough clearance in there to it's not scuffing the paint on the red part there. There we go. There we go. That's connected. That's connected. Okay, so lastly, you want to go down here. Now, this whole tread section is pegged into his leg, so don't just push it. You have to pull it off first. See, there's a tab there that goes into that slot. So you want it there, and then now you can open it, and then grab his toe and push it in. So it does that usual tank look where it goes in, flat, up. And then from here, there's a tab there that goes into this slot down here. So it goes a lot further up than you think it would. So make sure it's all the way up there, then that will tab. Okay, same on the other side. We're almost done. Unpeg first, straighten, push his toe, and then find that tab, goes into this slot all the way over here. So it goes a lot further in than you think. And there we go. We have Megatron in his tank mode. So a slightly different tank mode than the usual, where his cannon's on the side, because you need the deployer in the middle. So you just put in his minicon, and you'll hold like that. Now the cool thing about this is there's a child safety gimmick with these toys. So there's the launcher there, but if you just press it, nothing happens. Now the reason this is, and this is on a lot of Hasbro's launching gimmick toys, there's this on the bottom. So it forces you, if you have a child, to put it on a flat surface. They'll push that lock mechanism down, and then you can push it. So it's somewhat of a safety gimmick. So but there's nothing stopping from you just holding that and you just triggering it that way. Actually, there's another toy from the clearance aisle that I'm going to take a look at next that also has this exact same gimmick. And lastly, there's a couple other gimmicks here for this toy. You see there's these tabs here. You can actually peg that into the minicons on the side here. So if you have more than one minicon from Overload, they're spherical, they can store there as well. And I believe it should just work here too. There should be enough clearance. Yeah, there's enough clearance there. Or there's one more really cool way to display all of this. So just open him up. Let's put him back into Dragon mode. He has a slot on the bottom of his leg, so he can actually stand right there on this port. Pretty cool. All right, so I'll be looking at I don't remember what these are called. These used to be called pot shots. So I'm going to be taking a look at this next, but after that, please, leave a comment, leave a like, tell me if you knew all about all this, tell me what you would like me to look at next, and until then, bye-bye.